Hi balikbayans! This video is a complete guide for balikbayans. Balikbayans can avail balikbayan privilege. Balikbayan privilege gives you 1 year visa-free entry and stay in the Philippines. You can stay up to 1 year and actually you can even extend that 1 year if you want. You have to go to the Bureau of Immigration office. Anyways, what are the requirements for balikbayans? Who can avail the balikbayan privilege? What are the protocols? Going home to your final destination. This is the complete arrival guide in the country. So let's go. Who can avail the balikbayan privilege? Former Filipinos, Filipinos who have been naturalized as foreign citizens abroad. Let's say I'm Filipino, naging American citizen na ako, naging Canadian citizen na ako, wala na akong Filipino passport, former Filipino na ako, I only have foreign passport. While foreign spouse and children of Filipinos or former Filipinos are also covered by balikbayan privilege. For example, I'm a Filipino, traveling with me is my foreign spouse who is a national of a visa-free country under the EO 408. For example, I have an American spouse, Canadian spouse, Kiwi, New Zealander, Australian, or British, yan. He can get the balikbayan privilege too. And he can stay here up to 1 year. While for foreign children, your children who were born abroad, foreign citizens, if they travel with you, they can also get balikbayan privilege. As long as they're nationals of visa-free countries, yung 157. While if your family traveling together, you can also avail the balikbayan privilege, your spouse, and your children. These are the countries visa-free in the Philippines. As long as your spouse or your foreign child is a national of any of these countries and they travel with you, then they can avail balikbayan privilege. Foreign spouse traveling alone to the Philippines, can they get balikbayan privilege? No, they can't. They must travel with a Filipino or former Filipino spouse. If they travel alone, then they will fall under the category of, foreign tourists. They get the 30-day stay, not more than 30 days, and they have to comply with the return ticket requirement. Same with the child, if they travel alone to the Philippines, then they will not get the balikbayan stop, they will get the 30 days visa. Now, upon arrival in the Philippines, you go to the immigration straight away, right? You hand them your passport to the immigration officer and you say, balikbayan. Balikbayan po. And they already know what you're talking about. They may just stamp it or they may look at the previous pages of your passport, whether you have previous balikbayan stamp and then stamp the balikbayan stamp. Others may say, where is your old Filipino passport? Or where is your birth certificate, marriage certificate? No, they have the right to ask for that, no? A previous balikbayan stamp can be used, but it does not replace the documentary proof. So for former Filipinos, it's best that you bring either your expired Filipino passport or your Philippine birth certificate. Either of the two. So kahit alin dyan, pwede mong dalhin. While for your foreign spouse, marriage certificate. While for the foreign child, birth certificate. If you have those things, then you will get the balikbayan stamp. If you don't have, for example, former Filipino, wala ka nung old Filipino passport or birth certificate, if you have previous balikbayan stamp, depende talaga sa immigration officer, guys. Wag na lang po tayong mag-attitude kung wala kang proof na dala kasi they have the right to refuse it kung wala kang proof na dala. Kaya it's best if you have the old Filipino passport or birth certificate. They may just give you the 30 days visa kung wala kayong proof. Depende sa immigration officer talaga. Moving forward, the second requirement is the vaccination proof. You need to be fully vaccinated to enter the Philippines. That requirement is for all passengers 12 years old and older. Okay? If you have children traveling with you under 12, let's say 11, 10, 8 to 5, no? They can enter excuse me. They can enter unvaccinated as long as they're traveling with their fully vaccinated parent or parents. And they will not undergo quarantine. They will just follow the protocol of the parent or parents. No quarantine, huh? As long as they are 11 years old and younger. Now, to be considered fully vaccinated, it has to be 2 weeks after the second shot or single shot if it's a J&J. 2 weeks after talaga because if it's not 2 weeks, then you will be considered partial. Now, ayaw mo yun. Baka mag-quarantine ka or baka hindi ka papasukin kung partial lang. And booster shot is not required yet. Booster shot is not required yet. Just the 2 shots or 1 shot if it's J&J. Now, for former Filipinos who are unvaccinated, please get vaccinated. for you to be able to enter the Philippines, or all foreign nationals, including balikbayans, need to be fully vaccinated to enter the Philippines. So kung ayaw mong pabakuna, and gusto mong umuwi, magpa-dual citizen ka na lang. Kasi Filipinos can enter vaccinated or not. Since being fully vaccinated is so important for entry, and so that you will not have to quarantine, guys, it's important that you have the accepted proof of vaccination. So, for majority of you, you are vaccinated abroad. Bring the national or state digital certificate of the country that accepts Vaxxed PH, so countries with reciprocal agreement in the Philippines. So, these countries po, there are more than 70 countries on this list. If your country is on the list, then the government-issued vaccination proof is enough. Alright? Now, if your country is not on this list, I highly suggest securing a WHO International Certificate of Vaccination or Yellow Card. A CDC card is accepted, EU certificate is accepted. You bring your government-issued vaccination proof. You can either have it on your phone or printed. For me, it's best if you have it printed. Third requirement is the negative test result that is required for all passengers who are 4 years old and older. All passengers, regardless of vaccination status. They should be taken 48 hours before departure, you already know. And the counting does not include layovers as long as you stayed inside the airport. It says here, prior to the date and time of departure from the country of origin or first port of embarkation in a continuous travel. So in your layovers, you should not go outside the airport. Otherwise, then the counting will be on the basis of that airport. So for example, if your flight is, you have a layover in Japan, or US to Japan and then to Manila, if in Japan you stay inside the airport, then the counting, the basis of your 48 hours is from your origin country in the USA. And don't worry if your flight is so long that by the time you arrive in the Philippines, expired na ang 48 hours, don't worry. The counting is departure time, not arrival time. So even if your RT-PCR test result has already passed 48 hours upon arrival, don't worry, it still be counted as long as it was within 48 hours before departure. Or within 48 hours. I just want to emphasize 3 years old and under are exempted from showing a negative test result. So if you have children traveling with you, if they are 3 years old or younger, they don't need to have that negative test result. They are exempted. How about if you tested recently positive for COVID, you have finished your isolation, your doctor says you are ready to go, you can go outside, but you still are testing positive on RT-PCR test. You are recently recovered but still testing positive. Unfortunately, the recently recovered protocol is exclusive only for Filipino citizens. Because you are all foreign nationals, balikbayans, including former Filipinos, you need to test negative before traveling to the Philippines. Yeah, foreign nationals are not included in that recently recovered protocol. All foreign nationals need to test negative before traveling to the Philippines. Now, this is the fourth requirement. Secure a travel medical insurance. Balikbayans, former Filipino spouse, and children are also covered by this requirement. You need to have an insurance prior to arrival in the Philippines. This will also be asked by your airlines upon check-in. The COVID-19 travel medical insurance should cover COVID-19 treatment of at least $35,000 US. For those who have existing insurance, please check with your insurance insurer. Ask them, do they cover you in the Philippines, and do they have a COVID-19 coverage of at least $35,000? If yes, then you already have what is needed. Get a certificate from them, then you can use that insurance to travel to the Philippines. No need to buy another insurance. However, if your insurance does not cover you in the Philippines, or let's say it doesn't have COVID-19 coverage, you may have to purchase a separate insurance po. So there are so many insurance available in the market. You can just simply Google them. I always recommend Safety Wing because they're easy to purchase and they have good reviews among travelers. $42 na ito if you are less than 39 years old, but they're only up to 69. You can go to squaremouth.com to find an insurance that is fit for your age or your needs. No, there are so many options for this insurance, guys. You can simply po get a 30 days insurance if you're staying longer in the Philippines, as long as you can show it to the immigration. They will not ask for your return ticket anyway. And our last thing that we will do is to register to One Health Pass. One Health Pass is an online portal. It's a health declaration form in the Philippines. You don't need to download an app. It's just a website where you fill in your basic information, travel history, you upload your negative test result and vaccination certificate there. It's a simple thing to do. It takes only 5 to 10 minutes. Upon successful registration, you will receive the One Health Pass QR code, and that is what you need. That is what's gonna be asked by the check-in counter, and then upon arrival in the Philippines, it will be scanned many times, not just one. Siguro mga 4 times siya is scanned. It's the first thing that they will ask. So yeah, One Health Pass is really important, guys. It's for all passengers, ha? And per individual registration. Even children also need to register. If you have kids traveling with you, please register them to One Health Pass as well. Before you register, just prepare these things. I made a tutorial video on how to register to One Health Pass for foreign nationals. You want to check this video out? I'll put it here in the comment section too. Yeah, and it's easy to register. Don't stress about this. I want to emphasize that in order to register to One Health Pass, you must have a Philippine mobile number and a Philippine address. If you're going to be staying in a hotel for a whole duration, then use that hotel's address. If you have family or friends in the country, you can borrow their Philippine number. There is no OTP sent here. Yeah, after the process at the airport, you can forget about this One Health Pass. It's no biggie. It's very easy to do, promise. It's only 5 to 10 minutes. You can finish the registration. You can register. I recommend registering once you receive your negative test result. Register straight away. But if you're getting tested at the airport, register before you go to the airport. So 1 to 2 days, register. Then upload your vaccination card and negative test result there. You can edit out later. I showed everything on this video. I'll just go to that video if you have questions. So just a quick recap for balikbayans, former Filipinos, foreign spouse, and children traveling with them. Vaccination proof if you're 12 years old and over. And then a negative test result, the travel medical insurance, the One Health Pass QR code, and then immigration requirements of old Filipino passport or birth certificate or marriage certificate. Now, I recommend to print everything for faster process. Your One Health Pass, negative test result, and vaccinations card or certificate. It's better if you print it. It's just easier to hand the requirements to them. Yeah. Now, going home to your final destination, others don't really have a requirement. You arrive there and they don't even ask. There is no checkpoint by the local government unit. That's the case in many areas. Well, there are areas as well that requires S-Pass or negative test result or vaccination proof. No, I will put in the link for S-Pass and the domestic flight requirements per airline. So for example, Philippine Airlines, Cebu Pacific, and AirAsia. I'll put it down below. I'll make a separate video for final destination protocols. This is all, guys. Balikbayans. 1 year visa free. The Philippines is far more relaxed, guys, compared to last year. And the following months may be promising. Octa Research has a prediction that maybe we will have less than 100 cases daw daily. Oh, that would be very good. If naka-alert level 1, if the country is under alert level 1, everything will be at 100% capacity. That would be the best. But mask wearing is a must here. Wear your mask. Everywhere you go, bring a mask and bring your vaccination proof everywhere you go. If you're going out, some establishments need it prior to entry. Yeah, just enjoy your time in the Philippines and stay safe and God bless you. Bye!